Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have come up with a new chapter of class 10, which is Human Eye and the Colorful World. In this chapter we are going to learn about the human eye and the world and its different colors. So first of all guys, do like the video, and if you find it useful then obviously do subscribe. So let's start. So in this chapter we are going with two parts. First part is the human eye, in which we are going to learn about the basic structure of human eye. The next, how the image is formed, and then the defects connected to it. And in the second part we are going to learn that it will be the second part will be all about the colorful world, means the phenomenas all connected with light. So we are going to start with the first part, which is the human eye. So first of all, what is human eye? The human eye is an organ that reacts to light in many circumstances. As a conscious sense organ, the human eye allows vision, including color differentiation, and the perception of depth. The human eye can distinguish about 10 million colors, and from all the colors, the yellow color is visible the most. So basically it is told that the human eye is an organ that reacts to light. It means when light falls to our eye, we can see many objects, many human beings, person, insects, birds, etc. in many circumstances, like it is rainy, it is sunny day, it is windy day. So we can view everything in many circumstances. As a conscious sense organ, the human eye allows vision. It means in this sense organ allows us to see different things, including different colors, like we can differentiate in many colors, like this is red, or this is yellow, this is purple, this is blue. So, and it gives us the perception of depth. We can look to a hollow pipe, we can look through a digging well. The human eye can distinguish about 10 million colors. Our human eye is capable of distinguishing 10 million colors, and the most and the main color is yellow. We can see yellow color from far distance, like the sun is the color of yellowish, so we can see the color yellow. Now we come to the next topic, which is the structure of human eye. If you look at the structure, you can see many different points which are given out in the diagram. Now if you look at the diagram, we have cornea, we have lens, we have pupil, we have iris, we have ciliary muscle, we have retina, we have optic nerve. So when the light enters by cornea, it can be a heavy intensity light ray which can destroy our eye. So it is controlled by the iris, which is like a curtain to our eye. Now if you look at the pupil, which is the actual entry point of light, here the iris saves the eye from getting heavy light. When the brightness of light is heavy, then the iris covers the pupil and the pupil gets small. When it is less light around, then the iris steps back and the pupil gets bigger, so that we can see the object in less brighter area. Now for example, you see when at night you switch off the lights and you can suddenly see nothing everywhere, when it gets dark, but after some time you are visible enough to see some objects around you, because the pupil is adjusting the situation, and now you can see some of the objects in your room or in the area. So this is all about it. Now going to the next topic, how the image is formed in eye. So the next topic is how is the image formed in eye. So now the image is formed. So how the image is formed in eye, to learn that we have to study accommodation or power of accommodation. So let's write here power of accommodation. So now what is power of accommodation? So it is the ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length. So in the previous chapter, which is light, there it is taught that if the distance of the object is changed, then the distance of image also gets changed. That is taught as per lens. Now here the image distance will not change, because the distance of image can be more or less, but the image distance is the same. because the distance of retina and lens could not be changed, so the lens should be capable of forming image in our retina no matter what is the distance of object, and for this there has to be something which adjusts the focal length. So this ability is called accommodation. Now let's see how exactly this phenomena works. So now when we see nearby object, the ciliary muscle gets contracted. The eye lens will get thick, focal length gets less. Thus, because of the focal length gets less, we can see the nearby image clear. Got it? Now, what about when we have to see a object which is far away? In this case, the ciliary muscles gets relaxed, the eye lens become thin, focal length gets increased, and then we can see the far objects clearly. Okay? Now there will be some limits of maximum and minimum distance that we can see a object clearly. So the normal near point for a human eye is 25 centimeter. So what does this mean? The normal near point of a human eye is 25 centimeter. It does mean when we see an object or some letters which is at a distance of 25 centimeter, it is clear to us. But when we bring it more closer, then it will be we will have some strain in our eyes which will cause many defects. And now what is the maximum point we can see different objects? And the normal far point is infinity. So remember guys, the normal near point of a human eye is 25 centimeter and the normal far point is infinity. Now moving to the next topic, which is the eye defect. Here the first one is myopia. In this case the person can see the objects closer to him but can't see the far objects, which means, so now the problem relies on the previous topic, that is the that we have studied, which is the power of accommodation. So here the image doesn't form in retina, it does form in the front of retina. That's why the image is not clear, which we can say that the image we are going to see is a blurred image. And remember, myopia is also called as near or short sightedness. So here to solve this problem we have to use lens. In this case we have to push the image to the retina. So here we have to diverge the image to the retina. We can see the actual image. To see the actual image, so concave lens have to be put as the size of the focal length, so that now the lens is concave, so the power is negative. So as per myopia, the lens we have to use is concave lens and the power is negative. And now the corrective ray diagram is this. So now the next defect is hypermetropia, which is also known as far or long sightedness. The person, in this case, the person is able to see the far objects and can't see the image closer to him. So here the image is formed in behind the retina, that is why the image of the object closer to him are not visible. So the lens we have to use is a convex lens because the lens doesn't get thick enough, or you can say that the eye lens doesn't get thick enough to form the image on retina. So as per this condition, we have to use the convex lens and the power is negative. So here we have come to know that in this case of hypermetropia, the lens we have to use is a convex lens and the power is positive, and the corrective ray diagram is this. Now moving on to the next defect, which is presbyopia. This is caused due to the aging of people. It is caused after the age of 40. The spherical nature of eye ball gets erased. That is why presbyopia is caused. There can be a problem in viewing the far objects and the near objects both. So in this case, bifocal lenses are used, in which the lower part is used for near vision, which is convex lens, and the upper part is used for far vision, which is concave lens. Now here this was all about the human eye, and now we move on to the next topic, which is the colorful world. So now starting with the next topic, which is the colorful world. So now here I am going to tell you about some natural phenomena. So basically I am going to tell you about three phenomena, which are total internal reflection, scattering of light, dispersion of light. There are many more different phenomena in nature, but these three are the important phenomena that we have to learn in this chapter. So taking the first topic, which is total internal reflection. What do we mean by total internal reflection? This is a simple thing. That is, this is a spatial case of refraction, in which we have to pass light from denser medium to rarer medium. So basically here, if we take a simple look in this topic, let us take this as a air and this as water, and this is the normal one. Now obviously the density of water is more than the density of air, so we are passing the light from water to air. So let us see what we observe. Now this is the angle of incidence. So in this condition, the light will bend away from the normal. Remember, when light passes from denser to rarer medium, it goes away from the normal. Obviously, this is angle of refraction. Now, this is a normal case of reflection. Now we will be doing the internal reflection. Suppose I am increasing the angle of incidence. Let us take this, and then this is the angle of refraction. So I increase the angle of incidence, the angle of refraction gets increased. There will be a point where we increase the angle of incidence and we will get the angle of reflection exactly at 90 degree. So let us take this as an extended angle, and this will be exactly at 90 degree, which is this is 90 degree. Now this angle of incidence is called critical angle. This is called critical angle. Now if you this is called a critical angle, and if you increase the angle of incidence more than the critical angle, this will be showing reflection. Now this is the angle which is equal to critical angle. Now if you increase the angle of incidence more than the critical angle, this will start showing reflection. Now let me draw this as a angle more than the critical angle, then this will show you reflection, which is total integral reflection. The phenomena of bouncing back, which tells us that the phenomena of bouncing back of ray of light when it tends to enter from denser to rarer medium with an angle of incidence greater than critical angle. Here we come out with two conditions that is necessary or important for total internal reflection. That is, number one, light should be entered from denser to rarer medium, and number two is angle of incidence should be greater than the critical angle. Now this was all about the total internal reflection. Now we will be moving to our next point, which is number 2, that is scattering of light. Now what is scattering of light? Obviously this is very easy. Exactly, suppose these are some tiny particles, and when this tiny particle comes in the way of light, the lights are coming and connecting with the tiny particles, then and the light gets scattered, like in this goes this way, this goes this way, this can be going this way, this can be going this way. So this is called scattering of light. So the phenomena of light when it is passed through tiny particles of it gets scattered. This is called scattering of light. Now we come to our next topic, which is dispersion of light. Now what is dispersion of light? Here the material required is prism, a piece of glass triangle shaped. Now if I send a oblique white light which already contains of 7 colors, like take this as a prism. If I send a light which is white in this manner, this is white colored light which contains of all the 7 colors, which is violet, indigo, blue, this is green, yellow, orange and red. This consists of the 7 colors of rainbow which we can see in the clear sky. Now this light gets, the white light already contains 7 colors. Now the 7 colors, this is the normal one, so for different wavelength there is different type of bending. Now one will bend more and one will bend less. Now if we see here, this 7 colors gets separated like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Let us take that there here is 7 colors. Now this 7 colors coming out of the prism, 4, 5, 6 and 7, which contains the color as V, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Now this is called spectrum. This is called spectrum. So here the highest wavelength is for the red one, which is on the upper side, and the minimum is for the violet. The phenomena of splitting light. Now let us take this. The phenomena of splitting light or white light in 7 components when we pass it through prism. This is called dispersion of light. Now how can we say, how can we measure wavelength? So lambda is the symbol for wavelength. Here we have to remember a pattern that the color which has the maximum wavelength has the minimum band, with maximum wavelength, which is red, has the minimum band, and The color which has the minimum wavelength, this has the minimum wavelength which has maximum bend. The violet color has maximum bend. Look, this has come from here to here, so it has the maximum bend, so it has the minimum wavelength. So we can say that the bending is inversely proportional to the wavelength of light. Like bending is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. Now this lambda is called wavelength. There is also a point said by Newton, which we will be doing on the other side of this page. Said by Newton is that if we put, like, let us take a prism again, let us bring a white light here, let this get on 7 parts, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Newton said if we put a prism next to it in a opposite direction, like we are putting a prism next to it in a opposite direction, the 7 colors gets combined again. These 7 colors gets combined again, and this is called Newton's double prism effect. This is the white light. Double prism effect. Now we have completed the 3 topics. Now let's see the process for the formation of rainbow. Suppose this is a drop of water, like sorry for the diagram, I'm not good at diagrams. So suppose this is a drop of water. This is exactly like prism. When the light falls on the drop of water, the light gets splitted in 7 colors. The light is coming in this way and it is getting separated in 7 colors. Okay, this is the white light, and suppose this is the sun. This is the dispersion of light. Here we can see the dispersion of light, and not only dispersion, here we can see internal reflection also. Let us take this as the normal, and here we can see the normal and the internal reflection. And when the angle of incidence is greater than the angle of greater than the critical angle, as we are going through water to air, which means denser to rarer medium, and the rainbows are not formed every day, and angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle on the day when these conditions get satisfied. On that day the light will pass through this way, and then the person standing, let us say the person is standing here. So you have to remember one thing, that the sun should be on your back side of the head and the rainbow will be seen in the front of your eye. So from this angle, the prism effect or the 7 color will reflect back to your eye. This 7 color will reflect back to your eye because of the critical angle. This is because of the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. That is why you can see the reflection in the droplet of water. And always remember, so we can see from the other side, so from the other side it will not be visible because the rays of the sun will make the 7 color disappear, and you can see only white light from this angle. But remember, to see rainbows you have to keep the sunlight on the back of your head, and you will see the rainbow in the front side of your eye. So the next topic is atmospheric refraction. So now, what is atmospheric refraction? In this case, we see any heavenly body appear slightly raised. Any heavenly body appear slightly raised. So now, let us draw a diagram to learn it more easily. So let us take this as Earth, and this as our atmosphere, and remember, suppose this is the star. So here the hot air gets upward because it has less density, and the cool air or the hard air stays downward because it has high density. So let us divide this and take this as rarer medium and take this as denser medium. So let us take, this is a person who is viewing the star. So, and this is the normal axis, and let us take this star rays are coming on this way. So because of the light is getting entered from rarer to denser medium, in this case the angle of reflection will be going towards the normal. This is going towards the normal. So that is why we see the star on this position, but actually it is on this position. So this is the actual position, and this is the apparent position. Now if you look at this reasoning, it will be getting into your next topics. So remember this reasoning, it will make the next topics of this chapter easy for you. So the next point is, we see the sun 2 minutes early before sunrise and 2 minutes after sunset. Now what is this? It is said that when the sun is going to rise from the east, before the rising of the sun, we see the sun before 2 minutes, and after the sunset we see the sun up to 2 minutes. Why this is why this case occurs? So let us take this as Earth. Apparently this is our Earth is round, but for the objects around us we see as flat. So let us take this as Earth. This has some hilly areas, and this side also some hilly areas. So let us take this as a person. So for this person, the person can see the sky up to these limits. After that the sky is not visible. What is this called? This is called horizon. So let us take this as east and this as west. So in the time of sunrise, let us take and the sun is going to rise in the morning, but before sunrise we see the sun. How this is? We see the sun here, and after sunset also we see the sun here. This is also because of the atmospheric diffraction that we have learned before this topic. So our next topic is twinkling of stars. Twinkling of stars. Now here, let us draw a diagram again. Suppose this is Earth, this is our atmosphere, and let us take this as a planet and this as a star. So here the star is a point source of light. Why? Because it is many miles distance from us, and our sun is also a small star compared to these stars, and this is a extended source of light because planet doesn't have their own light. It reflects from the light coming from other source. Now why is the star always twinkling? Suppose this is a single source of light, so single source of light is coming to our planet, and because of the wind blowing in many directions, the refractive index changes apparently every single time. So suppose sometime we are seeing the star here, so sometime we can see the star on this side, we can see the star on this side, we can again see the star on this side, because of the refractive index that is changing its position, and sometimes the star is visible and sometimes the star is not visible. That is why it is the main reason why the stars are twinkling. So what about the planets? Why there can also be the refractive index for which the planet should be twinkling, but no, and this is a single source of light, and here we can have many sources of light. The light falls on the planet and it can reflect from many points on the planet. Suppose we can take hundreds of beams are coming to our planet, and we can say 50 of them are getting in atmospheric reflection, but you can say that the other 50 rays coming to our earth cancels all the effect done by the done by the other 50. That is why the planet is constantly visible from the earth and it is not twinkling. So now the next topic is, why is the color of the sky blue? Sky colored blue. This is simply an example of scattering of light. Let us take this again, one diagram. Let us take this as Earth. This is our atmosphere. Let us take this as sun. From the sun many different types of rays are coming, and the sunlight, which is white, which is included of violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So always remember, this end has the maximum wavelength and this side has the minimum wavelength. So the tiny particles present in the atmosphere, which is nitrogen and oxygen, which are small particles, very small tiny particles, which are contacted with only the small wavelength colored, colors. So the small wavelength colors gets spreaded into the sky, and the small wavelength side has the color of violet, indigo, blue, which is, we can say, a blue color end. So that is why we can see the sky colored blue, and the color which is the maximum wavelength comes directly to the earth, and we can see the color of the sun as red, sometime orange, and sometime yellow. This is the reason for which we can see the color of the sky as blue. There is nothing but only a simple example of scattering of light. So now the next topic is why the color of the sun at sunrise is sunset. So it is asked, why is the color of the sun we see red when it is rising or it is going to set? So let us take a diagram again. So let us take this as earth and this as our atmosphere. This is earth and this is atmosphere. So now this is east, this is west. Let us take the sun rising in the morning at this position, the sun setting on the west in this position, and let us take a time at 12 o'clock at noon. So guys, keep your eye on the distance traveled by the sun rays from the atmosphere to earth. So suppose this is a person standing here. So the sun rays coming from the sun when it is rising is this distance is traveled. Again, when the sun is setting, then this distance is traveled, and when it is 12 o'clock at noon, then this much distance is traveled. So again, this is the same example from the scattering of light. So we know that the blue color gets scattered because it has the less wavelength. Again here same. Now because of the distance traveled from the sun rays leaves the blue color scattering everywhere, because it is traveling the longest distance when it is rising or it is going to set. And at the 12 noon we can see a less distance is traveled and less blue color is scattered. So when the blue color is scattered everywhere, only the red color remains, because the red color has the maximum wavelength in the in white color. The red color has the maximum wavelength. That is why we can see the color of sunlight red, or the color of sun red, when it is rising or it is going to set. Because the color red has the maximum wavelength, that is why it is used in the backlight of vehicle, or it is signaled as danger for many reasons, because it has the maximum wavelength, so it does travel a long distance. Because the blue color has the minimum wavelength, that is why the cars doesn't have blue color on their back. The red color travels the longest distance and it is visible to human eye easily. So in the colorful world we have completed topics which are: number 1, any heavenly body appear slightly raised because of atmospheric refraction. And for this atmospheric refraction, we have found many reasoning and for many topics. So the second point is 2 minutes early sunrise and 2 minutes delayed sunset. Then next we learned about twinkling of stars. Then next we learned about the sky colored blue, and then next we learned about the color of the sun gets red when it rises, or red at the time it is rising, or at the time it is going to set. So guys, I have completed the chapter here. This is the whole summary of the chapter. I have tried to cover each and every part, though the diagrams are not good. I hope you can understand I am not good at drawing diagrams. So hope you guys like the video. If you have any doubt in any point of this summary of the chapter 11, you can tell me in the comment section. So I would like to try make you more videos on the topics you want to learn about. So hope you guys like the video. So press the like button and do subscribe. Thank you. And the next videos are coming soon. Here we have next two parts of this video, which is the mid chapter questions and the exercise question, which will be coming soon in 2 or 3 days. Stay healthy. Thank you.